All right, and yep, there we go. There's a YouTube link. Yep, there we go. There's a YouTube link. All right, and yep, there we go. All right, we're just getting started. Make sure that you guys, whoever's in here, welcome. Make sure that you hop in, comment in the chat, give us your names, let us know what you're up to. Just let us know. Let us know what's going on with you. You want to know why? Because we care. All right, we absolutely care. Want to make sure that everybody's included. All right. All right, and everybody. All right. Copy link. All right, and all right, and the words.
Matt X did the new video loaded.
I have to check on that as soon as we're done.
New video loaded.
I have to check on that as soon as we're done. All right. And so, with that being said, for a couple more people to jump in, then we're going to be getting started. But yeah, make sure that you're hopping in the comments. Make sure that we're doing all that fun engagement stuff. All right. Okay. All right. All right. And so, with that being said, people, we will be right back.
I don't wanna hear any more small talk. Off that short pier, take a long walk. My style ain't free cause it ain't off top. I'm at your throat, go get a cough drop. I don't wanna hear any more small talk. Off that short pier, take a long walk. My style ain't free cause it ain't off top. I'm at your throat, go get a cough drop. It's kush. I love me too much and your brain turn to mush. Fall flat on your tush. You couldn't handle the product I push. I guess I'm just used to it, I just do it. Like Nike swoosh, none of that Reggie Bush cause I'm top shelf, I ain't got well.
All right, people, and welcome back to another glorious week. And you know what? It's just like this is a great week because this is the last week of no real football. But you know what? Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's just go ahead and get to the guys. All right, let's just go ahead and get to the esteemed gentleman, starting with a man who generally goes by one name, but apparently he decided to switch it up, much like the counterpart that he chose. So we have with us Josh, aka Darius Senior.
What's good, everybody? Darius, Maniac Senior.
That's not going to stick.
I tried it, man. I'll change it next time back to Josh Senior. That's Senior more.
I mean, listen, it's good to try things out every now and then, but like I said, we're not going to hold it against you. That's fine. All right. Then also we have with us a man who, in less than 2 months, will be known as the iced out cookie. This man's gonna be getting married. All right, so you know what I mean. But in the meantime, it's just ice cookie. Okay, we have with us Austin Ice Cookie Cook. That's actually pretty cool. I like that. Cool. All right.
Yeah. Let's think.
It works out. Okay. All right. I like it. I like it. All right. And I am Chris Jackson, aka Yannick's #1 fan. So yeah. So with that being said, guys, before we get into everything, how's everybody's week? How's everybody surviving this heat? Matter of fact, is it hot where y'all are?
It is hot.
Yeah.
Yes, 97.
Disrespectful.
Yeah,
That's disrespectful. Yeah, but it's awful. It's awful. But you know what? It's a little bit cooler here today, which lets me know we're 1 week closer to football. 1 week closer. All right?
And I'm ready.
Yes, we are ready. You also know, you want to know who's ready?
Who?
Yannick Ngakoue.
Yeah, he's definitely ready.
Yannick Ngakoue. And I just say that because if you guys, and we're talking about Yannick Ngakoue, former Jags, Raiders defensive end, now Colts defensive end.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's been on Twitter. He is literally just embracing Indy. Like he is asking for restaurants. What are the local games to go to? He's full fledged. Just like he is entrenched in the city, and you see that he's bought into it. I mean, I want to say it's just like even with what we've seen on there, like Austin. I'm sure you've seen like what's been your impression of like how he's been engaging with the people.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. Really truly seems like he wants to be an indie. Like I wasn't keeping close eyes on him whenever he was other places. So I don't know if he did the same thing when he went to the Raiders or when he was on the Jags. But like ever since he came to Indy, he's been like on social media, and recently the past week or so, he's really been talking to like the fans. Like he wants the fans to be there for him. Like he wants to show out for us.
Yeah,
like it truly seems like he wants to be there, like being Indy.
It's genuine. It has a genuine feel.
Yeah,
and not just a business.
Yeah, and I think it's refreshing to see that from somebody because it's just like the Colts and Chris Ballard specifically they're always so dead set on like wanting to have people that absolutely want to be here, not necessarily for money reasons, but people that just absolutely want to be here. And it's like, of course he came over via trade, but you could tell it's just like he just immediately was just like, oh, I can definitely get with this.
Right.
So I'm very, very much on the side of um, making sure that he knows not only are you welcome in Indy, but you're absolutely welcome on the podcast. I would like to go ahead and just have him be like one of our friends of the podcast. That would be amazing. Um, not to toot our own horn, but we put a post out there. He liked it about potentially being on there. So you know what? Make sure if you're watching this right now, you have a Twitter. Make sure that you add him at Yannick Ngakwe. Just be like, hey, JAC podcast. Those are good guys. They're good eggs. All right.
We,
Let's,
we, we appreciate that.
yes, we would appreciate that. We absolutely would appreciate that. But you know what? It's just like that was actually refreshing. You know what else is refreshing? Training camp begins.
Yes.
It's absolutely refreshing that we are officially staring down the new football season. Because I'm gonna be completely honest right now. It's just like we're in that lull, right?
Hmm.
I mean, things are looking a little bit blech. I mean, the Yankees are doing pretty good.
Not right now. Not today.
I mean, not today, but we're being optimistic here.
Okay.
Yeah,
I can be up.
we're being optimistic. I mean, I think they have them like number one in terms of like odds of going to the World Series.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, it's just like they might not be doing good today, but you know what? It's 162 games in a year. You're entitled to like 30 bad games.
Yes.
So this will be like 26.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with that. But you know what? We saw people. we saw guys pulling up to training camp. We saw, like I say, we had sightings from DeForest Buckner, Kenny Moore. Also saw Reggie Wayne coming on the electric scooter, zooming through. Um, I'm gonna say it's just like there was a good amount of guys that were just ultimately just coming in. The artist formerly known as Darius Leonard was there. Um,
Formally, what you mean?
formerly the artist formerly known as Darius Leonard. So apparently, Darius Leonard isn't good enough anymore. Um, he wants us to call him Shaquille.
Okay.
Uh,
So Shaq.
Completely out of left field.
Shaq
Let's
Leonard.
Shaq Leonard. Let's just be honest. This is like the most random thing ever. It's just like I don't know how you do that. Like this is as left field as people coming out saying that Bobby Okariki's name wasn't Bobby Okariki.
Yeah. Now that name, it took me a while to I was like, what? A Curry. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I get it. I do get it.
Yeah. So yeah, he wants to be called Shaquille. Josh,
Hmm.
what do you have that? What do you think about that?
He said he has his friends and family and whoever's in his circle has been calling him Shaquille since '95, and he haven't said anything because he said that he didn't want to make a big issue. For these past 4 years, he's been a coach, so he just kind of left it as there is, and he said that he won't be. He won't hold any grudges, or it won't be in the bad blood if you call him Darius, but he prefers to go by Shaquille.
Yeah.
Who know? I don't know why he wants to have this new image as far as his name wise. It's kind of it's gonna be weird on Sundays because you got the commentators, you got the fans gonna be trying to, they're gonna say Maniac, continue saying Maniac, or they're gonna say Shaq Leonard. I mean, what what's I don't know what to expect from it because like you said, 4 years we've been saying Darius Maniac Leonard. Now with Shaq Maniac Leonard, that don't even make.
I think it doesn't make sense because it's just not what we're used to. Like, just imagine if we'd been calling him Shaq Maniac Leonard all the time, then he says, "No, refer to me as Darius." It's like, why?
Yeah.
Why are we here? How did we get here? But I mean, Listen, man, just his mom named him Shaq. We gonna call him Shaq, I guess. I don't know.
Maybe it's a rebrand thing. Maybe it's a rebrand thing. He's wants to rebrand himself. Um, and hey, change his name would start has that start on it. Has that
Yeah,
um could begin. It could be something that for the next 10 years we can enjoy. Calling him Shaq Leonard or Shaq Manny Leonard, whatever. I don't really care if he call himself Shaq or if he wants to call himself Shaq, because if I see him, I'm still gonna call him Darius. So not and there's nothing to pick on him because I know him as Darius. Darius, yeah, his middle name
yeah.
is Shaq, but hey, I mean,
I mean,
and
you know what? And I don't think like it's not necessarily a big deal, but it's just like it's literally the most out of left field thing that we've seen. However, I think it's just one of those things where it's just like he's trying to have like some normalcy. He even changed his information on Twitter. I literally just checked. It says Darius Shaquille Leonard.
yeah, he did.
So yeah, that's. I mean, listen, it's different. At the same time, it's not like a huge deal. I mean, and let's be completely honest. If he comes out there and he literally has, he has 5 picks, he has about 10 sacks, and then he has 150 tackles by the end of the year, I will literally get a jersey that says Shaquille on it, number with the number 53 on it. I don't care. Like it's just it's a name and it's not going to change who he is. I think it's just more so just something that at this point in his career is just like he's just like what, I'm comfortable, I'm here, with like we're already where we need to be. Let's just go ahead and just make this as home as possible.
Yeah. So who's arguably the most dominant player in the NBA like history?
I
Oh,
mean,
Shaquille O'Neal.
I'll say yeah,
Shaquille O'Neal. So who's
Yeah,
going to be the most dominant player in the NFL?
that's yeah,
Shaquille
yeah,
Leonard. I
yeah,
like what you
I
did there.
mean,
I like what you did there, Austin. I didn't know
yeah.
where you were going with that, but I'm just like, aha,
I
aha, good
did, I did.
job.
Of course I did, because I know he's that dominant player in the NBA. I'm like, I wasn't gonna say LeBron. I wasn't gonna, I was like
Yeah,
dominant.
we know
So
we
yeah,
know you're
Shaq.
not a homer. We know you're not a homer.
No, I'm not. But I think yeah, it's a rebrand thing because I think it has some, maybe small to us, but I think he's taking this Madden thing a little bit too serious. So he maybe he's like, you know what? Maybe if I just change my name or go by this name, maybe I get some respect on top of what I'm doing on the field. I know last week we said about, it's the market that we're in versus, Fred Warner and whoever else that are in front of him on the game, in the game, not in real life, but in the game, he's taking that to heart. I said, we all know he take everything to heart, and he uses as motivation going into the next season. So, like you said, he could have those numbers or close to those numbers at the end of the year based off, being ranked fifth best linebacker in Madden
Yeah,
or whatever it was, eighth, fifth, whatever it was. But yeah, he may take that serious. We don't care because I mean, it's a game. Really, it is a game to me. I'm playing it, but it ain't because the ratings.
yeah, yeah. You know what? And it's gonna. I mean, honestly, it's just like it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna change his player who he is. I just think it's just one of those things where it's like now it's just like he's comfortable in the league. He doesn't feel like he kind of has to walk on eggshells. I think one of the direct quotes was, they asked him or he asked somebody, when he was first coming in, it's just like, should I change it? Should I do it? And they were just like, listen, just stick with it how it is. And it's just like he's no longer at that stick with it how it is phase in his career. Everybody knows Darius Leonard. Everybody knows who he is. And you know what? It's like I said, if it's just like if he ends up playing better because of it, then hell, call him Shaquille twice. I don't care. Like, but I mean, like I said, it's just like I don't think it's a major deal. It's just very random.
It is.
Yeah, but we already know that he's going to be one of those guys. Like I know that he's on the pup list because he's still kind of I'm going to say he's still recovering from that surgery, but like I said, he's very familiar with the system. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be able to come in and do everything that he needs to do. So that's fine. But who are we projecting to be the stars of training camp?
Oh, uh, I mean, start off the podcast with Yannick. I mean, Quiddy Pay. You got Kenny Moore because he's in not a contract year, but he wants new money. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna add the rookie in. I'm gonna add Alec Pierce and Paris Campbell.
Okay. Okay. All right. Oh, 1 second. Give me a moment. And then Austin, you continue. What about you?
Yeah, I was gonna say Quiddy Pay because I saw something where apparently he couldn't see out of his left eye last year, and he came to camp with glasses, and he's gonna play in contacts this season, so
Mm.
he's gonna be able to see, and that has to help you some.
That
Yeah.
that on top of playing with the guy that's from where he come from, playing with Yannick. They both
Yeah,
came from the same place, so it makes I see why Yannick is comfortable and loving where he's at because he has a guy that's from his area, where they're born. He's motivated too on the other end because they're gonna be on opposite side of each other. So yeah, Quiddy Pay is. I'm not expecting 10 sacks. At least 8.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say it's you know what I'm not gonna overstate it or you know what I'm just gonna be on brand with it. But you know what? It's just like I think once again we're gonna see strong showings from Isaiah Rogers.
Yes,
I think it's just like Alec Pierce after spending, the OTAs, doing some of the rookie camp stuff with Reggie Wayne. I think we might actually see some showings from him in terms of just like how he's able to play, what he's going to look like. Because I mean, I like we haven't heard a lot, but I know that's just because Reggie Wayne is literally out there like coaching up these guys and making sure that they're prepared. And I think that's probably another reason why the approach to getting wide receiver wasn't let's just get as many veterans as possible and see what we can make shape. It's you know
right,
what get you're okay with younger guys because you know that having somebody like Reggie Wayne who works on those intricacies, who's very very specific when it comes to how he runs his routes, how he teaches how to do your arm placements and everything else, he's going to be just very, very specific with what he's looking for. So I think,
right,
like I said, Alec Pierce, I think is going to be somebody that we're going to hear a lot from. Maybe even Paris Campbell. I think it's just like, in terms of his injuries, he's injury free right now. And, it's just like if he could keep that up, then that's going to be something else that he's going to be able to do.
that'd be a major plus if we can get him on the field for at least 15 games. 15 games would be good for me. I know we said we got 17 games, but 15 games. Give me 14 games. I'll still be okay.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, on the flip side, who right now needs to have a strong training camp? And I'm talking about just like guys who, may have not had the best showings last year or previous years. I mean, where do we see things going from there? And I'm going to start with you, Austin. Like, who do we see as guys who need to have a strong training camp, offense and defense?
so I think offensively, y'all said Paris Campbell. You think he will do good, and I think he needs to do good because
Yeah.
he hasn't been healthy. He just hasn't been on the field, so he needs to be good in training camp and during the season if he wants to stay on the team.
Yeah.
Uh, Also, offense. I think Matt Pryor needs to have a good training camp if he wants to keep his starting role at left tackle.
Hmm.
Because I don't. I think Bernard Raymond is a good player. Also needs to have good training camp if he wants a chance.
Okay.
Defensively, who needs to have a good camp? Uh,
Yeah, he's having a hard one. He's like,
Yeah,
man.
he legitimately stumped himself on that one.
He's like, hold up.
He was like, "Wait,
And I get where he's coming from because the guys that he probably would name is already pretty much either good or
yeah,
we already having a good camp already. So it's like, who can I
I
mention?
guess. I mean, he's a rookie, but Nick Cross, because like he's not 100% the starter right now, so you could say he needs to have a good training camp
yeah,
slash preseason if he wants to take over that starting role that we think
Yeah.
he will eventually.
Okay. Yeah, I think so. I think that's where we're gonna be looking. What about you, Josh?
On offensive side, like we need Kylan Grinson. I mean, I know last year, rookie year, didn't get much targets because we had a quarterback at the time, but he needs to have a good camp because he got a guy behind him, and Jelani Woods. I,
Yeah.
we got Jelani Woods in front of him, but I don't know what they're gonna do. But he got a rookie behind him that's, it's it's a huge guy that can catch everything.
Yeah.
And like we said with Matt Pryor, because his job can get taken. Danny Penner, Paris Campbell, on receiving.
Yeah.
Defense end, Ty Lewis. He in a contract year. Bobby Okereke,
Yeah.
Ben Banagoo. He probably gonna get cut because they have discussed in trading him. But if he had good, if he has a good camp, they probably keep him for another body. But I mean, he has
Yeah.
that a good camp coming in. So I think that's it. I mean, we don't look at Armani Watts as a starter because he's going to be on special teams.
Uh-huh.
That's it. I mean, I think that's it. Anybody else that we missed? Let's see. Marvin Tell. Forgot about him. That's the name that we need to. He needs to have a good camp. That's it on defense end.
Okay. Yeah. So thank you for taking every single person I was gonna say. Yeah, that was amazing. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. But no, but I mean, in all honesty, I was going to say probably Marvell Tell has a lot that he's going to have to account for. It's just like coming back from taking off the year for COVID, and
Mm-hmm.
that was after I think it was after his rookie year. And then, last year he didn't have such a strong showing. And I mean, and subsequently, it's just like he did kind of bounce around from, practice roster to practice roster when, he pretty much, I'm pretty sure that if he had played in that 2020 season, he might have had a chance, or I'm going to say it's just like he might have had a chance to, just kind of insert himself and be that corner who, had that spot. So I think it's just like guys like him, Ben Banagoo, who Chris Ballard has always kind of like raved about or wanted to keep around. And it's just like bring him back on a 1 year because now, he's potentially going to be out the door if he doesn't show that he can at least go ahead and lock up that second spot until Taquan Lewis gets there.
Right.
I mean, so I think that's where we're looking at on defense. On offense, I mean, honestly, it's just like it's going to be Paris Campbell. It's
Yes. Yeah.
definitely going to be Paris Campbell, and I want to say also, I think Sam Ellinger has to. I think Sam Ellinger has to have a good training camp just to kind of make sure that he's securing that third spot because it's between him and Jack Hone for that three spot for the quarterback. Because that Matt Ryan is locked in as QB1, but then they brought in Nick Foles, who's going to be the backup. I mean, you don't bring in a guy like Nick Foles, who was previously not 4 years removed from being Super Bowl MVP, and you don't bring in a guy like him to just go and potentially be a practice squad body.
Correct.
So I think it's just like that's going to be on Ellinger because if Cone can come in and show that he can actually do something, then I mean he's probably going to get that spot as far as being mentored until Matt Ryan moves on and they end up you know eventually needing to have a guy in that number one QB spot.
It makes sense. It does make sense. Would you guys like for Sam to start as QB1? I know it's an off-topic question, but do you guys feel comfortable with him ever being a starter for the
I think
Indianapolis
Harish
Colts?
would. Harish would.
No, I don't.
And Harish said everyone needs to have a strong training camp, as well as losing week one is unacceptable. Absolutely right. Because I hate the fact that we've now gotten the stigma of being this team that literally loses every week one contest. Because
Well,
now you see how they're scheduling it. They're
right,
scheduling it where we're literally playing division opponents week one. And this year we play the Texans week one.
and then Jags week 2.
Yeah, and the thing is, right now, like with the Texans now have lost John Mechie. You know what? And like I said, wishing him a speedy recovery. You know, having leukemia is tough, but you know what? We're definitely, praying for you to have a full recovery. If you
Right.
hear this, if you don't, then we're still praying for it. But like I said, it's just like the Texans right now aren't exactly looking like a very strong team. And I mean, I think we're going to be looking at them having another season where they might be around that 4-13, 5-12. But one of those wins should not be against us, especially not week one. Like, absolutely not.
Well, the thing is too is that we haven't won the first game, and we haven't won a home opener in a while. We haven't won a home opener in quite a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, last year our home opener we lost, of course, and lost week 1 too.
Yep. Yep.
It's
And
it's the same. Yeah.
what? It's tiring, but at the same time, it's like we know that we got to get off to a strong start because we could literally end up running away with this division if we don't trip ourselves up in the race. I mean, it's just simple as that. Like we can't afford to get off to another slow start because that'll be the death of us.
We can't be cocky. We can't be cocky and overconfident on the teams like Jacksonville, like Houston, whether they tank in, whether they don't have whether they don't have any high expectations. Go in there, hey, thinking that you're playing the Rams or playing the Bengals. Go in thinking that you're playing a top team in the league, and it's gonna be a dogfight for 4 quarters, and whoever got the most points will win.
Absolutely, absolutely. And like I said, we control our own destiny. So I mean, here he said if we start 0-2, 1-3, or anything like that, Frank Reich is instantly on my hot seat. Fair, that's fair because we can't continue to do this. So like I mean, I think that's kind of where we're at in terms of training camp. There's going to be more to come, but there's going to be more to come because next week we are going to have special guest Derek Larger from the Bring the Juice podcast. Um, he apparently him and Austin are in some type of blood feud um, over the Guardians versus the Yankees. However, when it comes to Colts football, we can put that stuff aside because you know what? It really doesn't matter at the end of the day. So yeah. So like I said, we'll have Derek Larger next Tuesday with us on the podcast, and also we will be. And Caleb Gray says every team controls their own destiny before the season starts. Very true. Very true. Every team does. So, like I said, that's the reason why we need to control our own destiny going into this one because we cannot afford slow starts. So yes, and then Tarisha, let's go. Derek is cool. All right. So yes, so Derek Larger will be on with us next Tuesday. He'll actually be at training camp this upcoming weekend. So he's going to let us know everything that he sees, everything that we're going to expect. Who's having great training camps? Who looks like they could be struggling? Everything. So yep, definitely we'll go ahead and be welcoming him in. And then also, people, also we're still running our contest where you actually have two pairs of tickets available for the preseason contest. The first one's available for the Lions, Austin. That is August 20th, correct?
Yep.
Is it 19 or okay?
August 20th. That's going to be a 1 o'clock game versus the Lions preseason game, and then on August 27th, that's going to be a night game. That's 8:20, I believe. Both of them are home games, and that's going to be versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, in order to make sure that you are submitted for the contest, you have to be following um, these pages below. So you see below right there at YDKJAC Podcast, at YDK Basketball, at YDKJAC Baseball. Make sure that you are following. Make sure you are commenting on the original post. We're going to be reposting it again tonight. So this way you are in the running. Like I said, those tickets will be available. I think the last week that we're going to be, or the contest ends as of August 13th, I believe. I think that was the last day that we were doing that, right, Austin?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, cool. All right. Yep. And even if it's not, then guess what? You just got a little bit more time. You're welcome. All right. So in the meantime, people, Josh, Austin, where can the people find you other than what's scrolling across the screen right now? Starting with you, Josh.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at I am Josh Senior.
All right. What about you, Austin?
You can find me on Instagram at Austin_Cook2 and Twitter at CookieAustin2.
There you go. Like gravy. All right.
Make
And then
it
you can
strides, man.
find me at CJ Colts fan. And then, like I said, make sure that you're subscribed to the podcast. If you live in Indianapolis or anywhere close to India, then you know what? You're going to have 2 tickets if you follow, or you'll be in the running for 2 tickets. So, yes, make sure that you're following. Other than that, guys, everybody have a great week. Training camp is officially here, and you will hear all about it next week as we have Derek Larger on the podcast with us. So, yeah, so we will see you guys next week. All right, stay safe.
Before you guys go, subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Yes.
Subscribe.
Yes. Make sure that you go to the YouTube channel. It's going to be You Don't Know JAC, and that's You Don't Know JAC, JAC. If for some reason you can't, you make sure that you comment on the page. Matter of fact, I'm going to post a link to it so you can go ahead and just go straight to it and subscribe. So, yeah. So make sure that you're subscribing so that you can get all the news. And then we'll probably just be posting some goofy stuff here and there. Okay, well, maybe just go ahead and just randomly roast the Titans, Texans, and Jags fans. You know, why not roast the Jags? I mean, they're paying somebody $18 million for the next 4 years, and they couldn't afford to pay my boy Yannick Ngakoue. Are you crazy? Are you dumb? Are you dumb, Jags? Look at me. Are you dumb? Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you can pay a non-elite receiver instead of paying an elite DN who has been with, I don't know the year, but he's like one of the 4 D linemen to have 8 sacks for the first 4 or 5 years. I think it was something like that.
Yep, but you know what? Go ahead and pay Christian Kirk for getting close to having a 1,000-yard season. Yeah, that's goofy. But yeah, people, we will see you next week, and we will have Derek Larger on the podcast. So yeah, stay tuned, people.